Oh, hello there. What are you doing here? Oh, you're here for a story? Well, don't I have just the perfect one for you? Tonight's story is one I like to call Memory. So, enjoy the warmth of the campfire while I tell you this tale. Once upon a time, in a distant land and distant time, there was a kingdom ruled by a strong and brave king alongside the beautiful and loyal queen. They had a daughter named Glinisa, who was destined to become the princess of the kingdom. She was often nicknamed the Light of the World by her mother and father. This is why we named you this way, because it means hope, her mother would tell her. She always loved exploring the outskirts of the kingdom. However, she wanted to explore what was outside the kingdom walls. Her parents always told her to never explore outside the kingdom walls because it was too dangerous out there, yet she swore one day that she would find out what is out there. However, that day came when the guards opened the gates for a member of their kingdom and left it open and unsupervised when night fell. She knew it was finally her time to see what was outside her kingdom, and so she snuck out of her room while her parents were asleep and made her way through the gates. The teenage princess was now out on her own, outside of the kingdom walls.
What do you mean she escaped? She can't have gone far. Get out there and find her now, or I will make sure your entire division is executed on sight. Do you understand me? I knew I should have just left her in that damn sewer system instead of trying to find a way to put her soul inside of one of our cyber clones. She is going to be the death of me.
After the princess had escaped the walls of her kingdom, she found herself in a dark and terribly spooky forest. Luckily, she found a lantern nearby, so she brought it with her and ventured through the eerie forest. She walked, and walked, and walked, and walked for what seemed like years until she found a woman in a dress. She looks like a princess, just like me, the young princess thought to herself. So, she carefully walked to the other princess, who had her back turned to the teenage princess. Hello there, the princess spoke. Do you know where I can find the exit to this forest? Just as she finished asking her question, the other princess turned around, and what the princess saw was something she could not comprehend. It wasn't a princess. It was a nightmare. What are you? Nervously asked the princess. The other princess's face, if that's what she would even call her anymore, shifted and turned with two big, unsettling eyes staring at the young girl. She started to back away from the horrifying creature, but then she bumped into another princess that was different from the one she was looking at. However, that didn't mean that she was there to lend a helping hand either. The princess started to look around and saw that there were more just like the two unsettling imitations of princesses. Her mind started to race for a way to escape. They all slowly lurched closer and closer to her. She was afraid of what would happen if they got their hands on her, and so she gripped the handle of her lantern tightly and ran into the darkness with the nightmarish versions of royalty slowly following her.
Yellow 01? Can you hear me?
Loud and clear, sir.
Very good.
Father, if I may ask, why are we hunting this rogue cyborg? It's not going to last very long in the outside world anyways. So why are you commanding this group of nothing and nobodies to go after it?
Because, my dear son, that rogue cyborg isn't just any cyborg. It's special.
How so?
Remember that girl that we threw into the sewers and that the police reported about?
Yes. Yes, I do. It was that psychologist. What about her?
Let's just say that the cyborg we're hunting is none other than her.
The princess continued running and running and running as fast as her legs would carry her. Finally, she stopped as she saw a log cabin with a light shining through the windows. Somebody must be home. Maybe they can help me, she thought to herself. As she walked slowly towards the small log cabin, the princess looked all around her just to make sure the abominations calling themselves princesses didn't follow her. After a couple of minutes, she walked to the door and knocked on it quietly. She was hoping to see a friendly face that could get her out of this hellhole. As she stood there, hoping someone would answer the door, she started to understand more and more why her parents told her to never go past the kingdom walls. It was scary out here and being all by herself. As she knocked on the door again, she started to wonder if her parents knew about the other princesses, or if they were oblivious to it. She knew that other kingdoms existed before, yet they all mysteriously vanished. Were those princesses from those kingdoms? What happened to them? What caused them to become like this? Would she be next? Before she could ask herself any other questions, the door opened. What stood before her was a strange-looking woman. "Who are you?" the woman asked. The princess couldn't respond. She was scared that this would be a trap, yet she believed that this woman wasn't like the other princesses she had seen. She seemed real. The woman looked at her and saw the fear and terror that was in the princess's eyes. "You've seen them, haven't you?" she asked. The princess pulled the princess into the cabin. The woman slammed the door as a soft and ominous hissing sound echoed through the forest. It was a similar sound to how a pipe releases steam. The woman frantically looked around the cabin and quickly turned out the lights. The princess looked at the woman with a worried expression on her face as she nervously asked, "What's going on? Who's he? What were those weird princess creatures?" The woman didn't respond as she dragged the princess into a wooden closet and closed the doors as she quietly and frantically whispered, "You'll be safe here, just trust me." Suddenly, there was a knock at the door, and then another, and then another, and then...
These people are dying. Aren't you going to do anything to help them?
Relax, my son. They can't be helped. Not anymore.
So what? Did you just send them out there to die?
Well, no, I did not. However, if they die, I don't think that is my issue. It is, after all, their fault for not doing anything to defend themselves.
You are sick! Don't you realize that? You are not a madman. You are just a psychotic bastard with no sense of humanity for anyone. Is that why you build cyborg clones? So you can be the only thing human?
Will you relax, my child? After all, you're starting to become just like that girl who keeps trying to escape here. And if you end up like her, I think the best thing to do will be to shut you down for good. Wouldn't you agree?
You wouldn't dare.
Try me.
Then, the woman opened the door, and a tall, shadow-like figure stood in the doorway. "Hello there, how can I help you?" the woman asked, trying her best to act brave. The figure didn't respond. It just stared at the woman. It lurched its way into her home and looked around, scanning for something. Or someone. The woman looked at the figure's chest and saw a red emblem on it that consisted of a red X with a red line going above it. She knew who this figure was, and she didn't want to draw suspicion about the young princess being there. The figure started to make its way out of her home when it heard a rustling coming from the wooden closet. It looked over at the woman, then slowly made its way towards the closet. The woman tried to come up with a plan to lure the figure away from the closet, but as soon as it opened the closet doors to see the young princess hiding inside, she knew it was already too late.
I should have known she would kill them. However, I'll bring her home, one way or another.
In the end, the figure took the princess home, and she told her parents that she understood why they told her to never go outside of the kingdom walls. They were not mad at her, they were just glad that she was all right. And they lived happily ever after. The end. Well, I hope you enjoyed that story just as much as I did. Come back again soon, and I hope you enjoyed this lovely story. May the powerful rule.
I wander this here forest. Darkness lights my way in search of another soul to come and take my place. To come and take my place. I can feel it on the wind. Only a matter of time till someone comes and plays my song and lets me inside and lets me inside.
Guardian Angel protocol activated. Starting up system in 3, 2, 1, 0.
It's time to spread my wings. I will find you, Elsling. I will find you.